What are the sort of key skills that you give to people or suggest to people that they should do to make sure that they can achieve financial independence? Because I know you believe it's possible for anybody to achieve financial independence.
Yes. Well, first of all, everybody lives according to a set of values, a set of priorities, things that are more important to least important in their life. And if they have whatever's highest on their values where they're disciplined, reliable, and focused, and whatever's lower on their values where they're undisciplined, they procrastinate, they hesitate. Anytime somebody wants to have finances and build wealth, if they don't have a value on money, they're not going to do it.
And what do you mean by a value on money?
They have to have a value on actually taking a portion of whatever they earn and setting it aside and saving it so it starts to work for them. If they just, the second they get money, they want to go and spend it and want to go and buy things with it, great, that helps the economy in some respects, but it doesn't allow them to ever have financial independence. So you'll never build wealth unless you save. And if you never save, you're going to be working your life for money. So you have to take a portion of whatever you make and set it aside.
But what if you don't have enough money to save?
Well, the thing is everybody does. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a person that can't afford it. I've worked with people in Africa that make $200 a year, and they're able to save money. So people have this assumption that I've got to get a whole lot more before I save. But the reality is the people who learn to take and set aside little bitty amounts, that amount continues to grow. So I always say, can you save a dollar? Well, yeah. Well, then save a dollar. It's not how much, it's the habit of saving that starts to build wealth. Because if you keep waiting for this big chunk of money to happen, it won't. There's a law called Parkinson's Law, and Parkinson's Law states that any space and time that's not filled with high-priority things will get consumed by low-priority things. Any energy or resources of economics that's not saved will be consumed by things. So if you don't learn to save and take a portion of it, stuff will come into your life that erode it, basically take it away. Unexpected bills, things will happen. So what I tell people...
How do you think that works?
It's just a law it's called Parkinson's Law. And the law basically states that if you don't focus on the agenda of high priority things in your life, you'll see your day gets filled with weird stuff, just stuff that fills it up. So you have to basically do that with money. You have to take a portion of it. The second you get the money, you have to take a portion of it, even if it's a small portion, and set it aside. When you do, you realize, I didn't miss it. I mean, I know people that start out, believe it or not, at $5 a month. And in a year, they're sitting at $60 a month. 2 years later, they're at $500 a month. And they think, well, I don't know what I did. I just know that the more I'm saving it, the more money's coming to me, the more opportunities are coming to me, because you value yourself. Until you value you, don't expect anybody else to. When you value when you have some money that's set aside, you end up having better quality clients. You have better standards. You end up qualifying them, in other words, the clients. You end up having a more stable business. You get more associations, ideas, and opportunities. So what happens is when you start to manage money wisely by saving it, all these other things start to kick in, which make you more money.
Well, how does that work, though?
Well, I don't know the metaphysics of it. I just know that it works. I mean, I've taken thousands of people through the process, and I just think that because you value it and you're now putting energy on it, you're seeing opportunities, you're tending to take initiative actions towards those opportunities, and you're more likely to follow up on those activities because of that. Once you value money, you see opportunities. See, what happens is that if a mother, his highest value is her children, and she walks in a mall, and when she walks in the mall, she'll see children's clothes, children's education materials. She won't see money opportunities. If a person values money and they walk in a mall, they'll see opportunities to make money. They have to value it. They have to value themselves, and they have to value giving a service to people. Those are the three things. A service to other people, because that way you have worth through other people. A service to yourself, you have to value yourself, because why would you save if you didn't value you? And you have to value money, the means of exchange. Money is a means of exchange. Many people think that money has somehow got a moral issue, but money is neither good nor evil. It's just money. But if you see somebody using it in a way that supports your values, you'll label it good. If you see somebody doing something with it that goes against your values, you'll label it bad. But money is neutral. So you have to get past the moral issue about money, appreciate what its use is, which means you serve somebody, or otherwise they wouldn't be paying you. And now you're valuing yourself and you're investing in yourself, because the moment you start to invest in you, other people begin to invest in you. So what you do is the world on the outside tends to reflect the world on the inside.
Explain that kind of law that's out there then, that you start saving and then you find you can save, then you save a little bit more and you find you can save a little bit more, and the next thing your wealth starts to accumulate. Yes. I mean, is that a spiritual thing that you're talking about?
I can't say it's anything really metaphysical or spiritual necessarily. I think that it's just something I've observed. I mean, I've been doing this for 27 years, 26 years, and teaching it for about 16 years. professionally, and I can assure you it works. I mean, I can take anybody, and I've done this, and I've said, is anybody here that right now behind on their bills, they don't think they can afford savings, and they're strapped and they're stressed? And many people put their hands up. And I said, all right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go and we're going to find a financial institution tomorrow. We're going to have you on an automatic savings for that, and we're going to say, how much do you think you can save? And some people say, well, I can't save anything when I first ask them. And I said, okay, well, can you save $10 a month? And they go, that's 30 cents a day. And I go, well, yeah. I said, well, so let's save that. And then they'll say, well, no, I think I can do more than that. I said, well, can you do $50 a month or $60 a month, $2 a day?
Yes.
And they'll go, yeah. $2 a day. They go, yeah, I can do $2 a day. Okay, good. Can you prioritize your bills and extract at least $2 a day out of your bills by prioritizing it, making sure you're really buying things that are really important, and budget a little bit? Yes. Well, if you can do $2 a day, that's $60. That's about $720 a year. And they go, well, yeah. I said, plus interest, because you're going to gain a little bit of interest. And I said, now, what would happen if I was to do that? And we just did it, and I took them over got it set up, and had electronically transferred so they don't even think about it. It's just done. I go, well, great. Well, a year later, because what I do is I go back and I have them 3 months later, I make them increase it, and I increase it, and I increase it. And so let's just imagine that. They start with $60. Mm-hmm. 3 months later, it's now $66. Because once they've done it, they go, I didn't miss anything. Okay, it's now $66. And then we go back and we add $6.06 on top of that. Or pardon me, $6.60 on top of that. So that's now 73 or something dollars. And then we come back again, quarter, and we add $7.30 to that. And now it's whatever that is, $80 or something, 80 something dollars. And we come back and we add $8 and something to that, and now it's 90 something dollars or whatever. And they just increase it every quarter. Well, at the end of a year to 2 years, when we start doing that, they're astonished at what they were able to do. They didn't miss it, and they now are seeing hope and possibilities, and they've got some liquidity. And I try to do that until they have at least 3 months worth of liquid cushion. That means if their bills are $5,000 a month, then we want to make sure that we have at least $15,000 to $20,000 worth of liquid capital sitting there. Well, it may take them a year or two to do that. And they go, well, I could be buying real estate, I could be doing this, and they all want to gamble. Instead of just building it up step by step and being methodical and being patient and doing it secure-wise and earning the right to risk, as I call it. And once I get them to have their liquidity, now they have enough liquidity to sustain some volatility in their business and in their markets. Mm-hmm. And then we stair-step it to a little bit more risk and reward as far as bonds or buying real estate and start to rent out properties and these types of things. But I always say start with liquidity to make sure you have some sort of liquidity no matter what the market is, you're okay. And but people their minds are blown because they go, I can't believe this. I could have done this 10 years ago. And I said, I know, but you didn't. Because nobody told you that. Because everybody wants to get rich quick. They want to live in a fantasy. They live beyond their means. They don't value money. They value what money will buy. And they keep fantasizing about this great life, but they don't do the things that get them there. And I said, you have to value money. You have to value yourself because you won't pay yourself otherwise. And you have to value serving people. The greater you value of service to people, the more income potential. The greater value you have to yourself, the more you'll want to pay yourself first. The greater you have on value on money, the more you'll see opportunities and take advantage of opportunities to make money. So those are the things that I work with people. Once we start to have a cushion in place, we start to stair-step it into different classes of investment, we do it in stair-steps. We don't just jump up to risky investments. We do it in stair-steps. I'm not a rich-get-rich kind of guy. I'm a very methodical, strategic guy that just works over the long haul towards an objective of building wealth. I found that that's longer and wiser in the long run.
How long will it take? What's the average length of time to build up enough wealth to make you financially secure?
The average client that I work with is between 6 and 7 years, rarely more than 10 years, they can reach financial independence. If they do.
Within 10 years?
Yeah, within 10 years, for sure.
Starting from nothing?
Starting from being in debt in many cases. They can be in debt. Now, some people can't comprehend that because they just think, well, there's no way. And it doesn't matter. I'm not worried about what people think. I'm not trying to convince anybody of that. That doesn't matter to me. I just know that if you follow principles that have stood the test of time that work, it works for you.